guys, Jared from Wave to Wave here, and this is episode 17 of Project Activator, which has been, I understand, a long process, but we're actually really happy with the results. We actually have really put the boat together to the point where we actually water tested it once already, and we're just buttoning a few things up. So I'll give you a few updates. The only thing we're kind of finishing off right now is we're putting some foot pads in for the passenger and for the driver. Installing the interior took a little bit of time. We did a few little things that were kind of cool. Instead of having them mounted on the floor, we actually spaced them out a little bit using a really solid plastic. It's kind of like a Delrin, but it's actually called something else. I'll get the name of it and put it in the description below. But it's a really high density, super solid plastic. And we made washers, fat washers out of it to space the front seats. So they're in the 4 bolts, which are through bolted into the floor. And we spaced them just so there was a tiny gap for air and water to get through if it ever came to that. If you mount it right to the floor, you risk trapping moisture underneath the seat. The rear seat, kind of the same. We actually mounted strips of this plastic to sort of raise it as we needed. So the rear seat is actually jacked up by like maybe a quarter of an inch. And again, water and moisture can get out of there. So you never want to really trap water or moisture anywhere in the boat. So everything's been kind of thought of in that respect, and it'll make the interior and the seats last a lot longer and just make it easier to clean and everything. So the front seats are almost barely noticeable because it's just such a tiny amount, but it's enough that air would at least escape. So that's good. So yeah, for testing, we have 3 props on hand right now. We're going to get a couple more to test, 3 really different props. We have the 25 pitch Fury 4, which is popular with bass boat guys, and the original Fury prop was really, again, popular with bass boats. And I wanted to test it just because it's a 14.5 diameter. It's a 25 pitch. They run a little higher than 25 in a sense. So Fury 4 has a decent rake to it. I think it'll handle that boat quite well with that size. I don't think it loves to be jacked up super high, but we'll test it out, see how it works. I got a Bravo 1 XS 27 pitch. And I got a 27 pitch for a few reasons. One is that it's actually 26 with a little cupping added to it, so it becomes a 27 theoretical pitch. And those run a little light in pitch anyway, so it'll actually kind of be probably similar to that Fury 425. But it can run a little higher probably. It'll handle the heavier weight of this boat, and in rough water, it might be a really good prop for holding the boat and everything. So we'll test that out, see how it works. Probably won't be a big numbers kind of prop. So. And I have my 26 trophy that I actually have for my Allison. It's an Allison cut. So the blades are cut in just a little bit at the hub, and it's thinned out and sharpened. So it's an Allison cut trophy, which may not be the best prop for this boat. But it's worth trying. You just never know sometimes. This boat, so far from how we ran it, bow lift is not a problem. So partly because of the weight of the engine, how far it's set back, it's lifting the bow, no problem. So we'll see how it goes. And that's a small diameter. The trophy is a 13 3/4 inch diameter, I think. So it's a really small prop. Tons of rake though. It's a pretty general purpose, really good prop. We'll see how it goes. And then the best thing is testing is there's never one prop for everything. So we'll test it out and just see how they all affect the performance of the boat. Just wanted to recap a little bit about the supporters and sponsors of the project. Again, we can't thank them enough. It's been really, really great. And I'd say like Seastar Solutions, Lavorsi, Daryl from Unique Interiors, or Unique Upholstery, and Finney's, the plastics. They did the custom wind flaps. Just been phenomenal. We're really happy with that Evinrude so far. I really can't wait to get more hours on it and test it. It's a pretty cool engine. I think it's just so different. It has so many additional features compared to the competition that make it a real winner. So, not the least of which is it's super efficient, and this sort of 2-stroke, 4-stroke phenomenon is a lot of it is just marketing. I mean, I don't really care if my engine's 4-stroke or 2-stroke. I really care about the power output, the torque delivery, all that kind of stuff. The prop shaft spins at whatever speed based on your gear ratio. So if there's squirrels under there turning it fast enough, that's fine too. Obviously I'm being sarcastic, but this sort of myth that 2-strokes are these smoking, inefficient beasts is just not true. The old ones were, for sure. But this engine does not smoke when you start it up. It's so efficient, it's so quiet, so smooth. That steering is game changing. Like I said, it's a really cool feature. So there's that. And then it has a small onboard oil tank under the cowling that lasts 50 hours. So you can imagine a lot of people don't even use 50 hours in a season. So that's gives you an idea of how efficient it is. So Livorsi has been amazing. That's a great company for so many reasons. They're obviously dominant in the marine industry, but it's no secret why. The product is awesome. They have some of the best sort of new digital type, like the Vantage View gauges we have are sort of digitally incorporated into the NMEA 2000 network style gauges, SmartCraft gauges, whatever you have. So they have a ton of stuff, features built into them. And they have that classic Livorsi look, but the best part is the customer service. I mean, they're just a great company that way. So, that's another reason why we chose them. Our trail trailer is really cool. Those are great trailers. They can custom make one. They make a lot for a lot of OE builders, so you can check to see if they actually have one already made for your boat in particular, or you can get adjustable bunk ones. They're a great trailer maker out of Central Florida. And that's about it. We'll sort of put a list down in the article about the sponsors and who made this project happen, but I'm super grateful of having that kind of support, and some great people in the marine industry. And I think that's kind of why we did the project, is to sort of show some of these newer products and how you can use them in an older boat if you're updating your gauges or whatever, or a jack plate. There's so many great products out there now, and they've really come a long way in the quality and design, and kept up with some of the technology that's changing. So that's really cool to see. A few other things about the project that is worth mentioning, that we had a lot of help and sponsorship and support in this project. So obviously Mark was the most important piece of that puzzle, because he not only originally built that boat and did all that with Activator and everything, but his company now, Rage Powerboats, he did all the work and deserves all the credit for pretty much everything that went into it. We worked together obviously on like the design elements as far as the colors and the interior and a few other pieces of the boat, but at the end of the day he did all the heavy lifting and all the work. And I think the project was at least informative in that respect. I wish we could have been more hands-on and close up, but where I was living a little bit further away, and Mark was in Connecticut at that point, so it was just really hard to sort of be there all the time, and I couldn't really. So that was the only difference I'd probably change for the project. But overall, now we're into the more exciting part anyway of testing the boat and trying all these different things with props and engine height. And so that's episode 17. It's just a short episode just to describe a few things we're finishing off and doing to the boat. And again, getting ready for next week. Probably wouldn't even get to test it that much next week, so my schedule is kind of a nightmare in the next little while. So actual testing will probably be early November, unfortunately. So we'll see if I get a chance to put it on the water when I get it to Miami and do some preliminary testing again and get some video footage of that. That'd be great. But so far so good. We're really happy with it, and we'll hopefully get a video up maybe in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, of just some more testing and on the water stuff. So that'll be kind of fun. Thanks.